Okay. This is 37th Street Radio and TV, and of course, we are out here hooking you up with the best of the best interviews. And today we have another special guest. So, guest, please just introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Marion Otieno, 21 years of age. And you contacted me, and yeah.
So I was very much interested to know about your journey because you are bio reads, producer, production manager, and commercial model. So I just want to know what came first.
Okay. Acting came first before all that. I act, and after that, I started doing behind the scenes as a production manager. Then after that, I started producing. I've produced 3 films, short films, and I am still producing one podcast. I am a model, a commercial model till now.
So as a production manager, like, what does it really entail? Is your work to gather the people, deal with logistics? What does it really entail?
Yeah, you're right that my work is to make sure everything is running from the cast to the crew, to make sure that nothing is stagnant, to make sure that the cast is okay, to make sure that the crew are on toes, and to make sure that everything is present during a production, and do all the logistics before the production happens, and during and after.
So what even led you to that to that career path? Because it's usually very much male dominated. So I don't know what really gave you the courage to just choose to try that.
Well, one, I have studied for the same, and fact that you have said it is male dominated, so I wanted to challenge myself and say, why is it that women don't do this a lot? Let me try it and see where it will get me. Until now, I don't think it's that bad. It's not that challenging as people think.
Oh, okay. And then, like, you can tell us where you studied and what course you took.
I've done film production, broadcast media and journalism at CTech University.
I also want to know, like, if when you were starting out, did you have any like elements of self-doubt, and how did you deal with self-doubt?
Yeah, I had elements of self-doubt because at first, when you're given the job, you really don't know what you're going to do. So, of course, you must have the questions that you ask yourself. Am I really sure what I'm going to do? Is the management going to like the kind of job that I'm going to do? But you take the challenge. You do enough research before taking a job. And that's what I've been doing. Whenever I'm given a job, I take my time to research about the job. And it has ended me to a good place.
You said that you have been working on like 2 short films. You can just tell guys the short films and where they can find them.
Okay, the short films we haven't posted them on YouTube really, because we use them to post on these competitions, you know, the Kalasha, and that I have one called Time Machine. I have another one called Depth, and another one called Relax. Maybe later on I can share the links because we've not posted them on YouTube because it wasn't YouTube content.
So it
Yeah.
was content for Kalasha. Was it a competition or something?
Yeah, it was a competition. We have engaged ourselves in the competition. There was one for Zanzibar competition that is happening. The deadline was April 22nd. And we just posted 3 of them because they don't mind reposting and reposting. And right now, I still have a workshop going on for another shoot that we are going to do next month.
So you can just talk about the point that you have just brought up right now, which is pre-production. So before you even take your equipment and you go to the field, you start shooting. Talk to us just about the preparations. What do you do? What do you discuss with other guys so that now you can pick equipment and now go to the field and shoot?
Okay, first of all, we will have several workshops, not just one workshop. We'll have several workshops with, let me take, for example, it's a short film. We will have a workshop for the script writing. And after discussing the script, not writing, after discussing the script, we will give the script writer time after the first workshop. He will write it and then we'll meet again to go through the script. After that, we will know the number of people that we need as the cast because we have already written the script, we have already corrected the script if there's any correction needed. And then after that, after we have sorted the cast, we will know what do we need to achieve this kind of shoot. Now that will bring us to the equipment. So we'll need this and this, this and this to achieve this kind of frame. We will need this and this. And with that, we will see the kind of manpower that we need. And by manpower, I mean the crew. So there you'll write the number of crew that you'll need because you've already written the cast, you'll write the crew. And then after that, you'll have another workshop with the cast and the crew to discuss on the same. And then, of course, you will hear different suggestions from different people. Yeah.
So I want to know also, like, what's the most tedious process? Is it pre-production? Is it production? Is it post-production?
Well, I can't say that there's any that is not tedious because each needs a lot of work and a lot of thinking, but I think production is the one that needs most energy than pre-production and post, because for post-production, it's a specific group of people that need that kind of, it's a specific number of people that are going to be tired. For production, it's the whole crew. For pre-production, it's just thinking. So I think production is the most tedious.
I want to know how you deal with the change in technology. This is whereby, like every day, if you have noticed, there's a new camera, you are using this software to edit. Next week, you hear there's a new and better software. So how do you deal with that?
First of all, I'll say that specific question has had me some time back because I personally was good in using Premiere Pro, but you go to a specific place where they only use Final Cut. So it's a challenge to yourself. You have to go and learn about it. You'll have to go and research. You'll have to ask people. You'll have to go to YouTube, whatever. So if today there is a new camera and I've been using a previous camera, it is upon myself to go and research on what's the difference between this camera and this camera. How good is this than this? You research about it, know how to use it. Of course, it will take time, but you'll definitely know how to use it. It's all about research and taking your time to understand the equipment or the software.
So how is it like producing a podcast like Payable Podcast? Like, how did you even find yourself producing that show?
First of all, the crew in Powerball podcast, I had worked with them before, like Faiz and Sanchez, we had a shoot with them. And they later on approached me with the idea. So we had a workshop on the same and decided on how we are going to make that specific thing come to reality. We pushed ourselves, and everyone has their specific kind of talent. I can't talk about football. I do know football, but I can't talk about football, but they can. So they're the talents. I'm the producer. Yeah.
So how is it dealing with different personalities? Like even in production of a film, you're dealing with people who have different personalities, they have different temperaments, and now we want all of them to come under one dome and produce a final product. How is it? Is it usually very challenging for you, or how are you able to create chemistry?
I can say it is challenging because every day you meet different people with different characters. But as a filmmaker, you have to understand that not everyone is like you, so you have to understand how people work. It will take time, but you will have to understand this specific person does this, and when you work with him, you have to do this. Let me say, for example, this specific person does this normally during shoots, and you have to adjust to that so that you can work together without having a lot of issues. You just have to understand how he works and make him understand or her how you work, and that way you're gonna work very well.
And then another issue we can also talk about is licensing. So this is even when it comes to film, and I just want you to talk about, like, you see, when I do my research, like in other countries, you can just take out your camera and even start shooting anywhere. Like, they don't have any issue because they understand that if this guy is making maybe a music video or a film, he's going to market our country. People are going to see our country. But in Kenya, like, if you just take out your camera, you need, like, I don't know how many licenses. So you can just talk about the issue of licenses in terms of film here in Kenya.
Well, what I can say is, first of all, we live in a money-loving country. You know how our government is. The licensing thing, personally, I don't see it to be so necessary, but it is necessary at some point because you don't know the kind of content that people shoot. I might have good content that I want to shoot without a license, but if another person is given such an opportunity, you don't know what that person is going to shoot. You're not sure whether it's going to be good content or bad content. So as much as people don't want the licensing, we all can agree that it is important for upcoming generations to get good content on social media or any, because social media never dies. You don't know what people are going to post.
According to you, in film production, like, do you think Kenya can compete globally? Because you have talked about making a submission to Zanzibar, you have talked about something like that. So do you really think, like, where do we stand in the global market? Can we really even stand on the global market, or our films are below standards?
No, our films are actually so good, especially the Kenyan content that has been happening this past 2 years. They can stand global competition if we change our actors. Our actors are so nice, but you realize we have constant actors. Like in these big projects, we have the same people. So like these small fish, they don't get the chances to be on big projects. So the moment the film industry people get that into their heads, that there are so talented people that are not in the limelight, but they can win so many awards when they act with some of the big fishes. It's one of the things that most filmmakers don't know. As much as a lot of films are so good, I can say most producers tend to spend less and to get 50% quality, and you can spend on your film and get 100% quality. So one is give opportunity to new talents, and number two is spend good money on your films. If you have that money, just spend it. Don't smoke it or don't pocket it. Yeah.
We can talk about still on a business point of view, like is film in Kenya a business worth investing in? Because in other countries you see people who are not even interested in film, but they have money and they have a business mind. They're usually like, take this money, do your thing, shoot your own film. I don't care what you do, but just make sure you give me my return of investment. So in Kenya, and maybe, I don't know if you have experienced this, when shooting a film, do you producers or people who are funding film, do they really get return on investment?
Well, it depends, because yes, you can, film is a nice business to invest in. It has good money, but it doesn't come instantly. It will take time. It will take years. It will take months and years to pick. So if you're patient enough, your business can pick and you will start getting returns. But on the first times when you've just started your business, you're actually going to make some losses, or the money that you're going to make is going to be equivalent to the money that you had used. So if you're patient enough, you're going to get returns. It won't be immediate, but it will be worth it after years.
So still according to you, and I just want you to give us a rough estimate. So like producing like a 1-hour film in Kenya that doesn't need a lot of props, doesn't need a lot of different locations. What do you think like is the appropriate amount of investment? Just give us a figure maybe.
1 hour film, that is a feature film. So with less locations, but we are definitely going to have good talents, so that we approximately from 2 to 5 million.
What?
Yeah, it is. Film is expensive.
So that is after paying all the actors, paying the producers, everybody involved.
Yeah.
And then now you have already gone through all that hassle. You now have your film. It is now ready for audiences. I want you to talk about some of the opportunities now, like guys have always talked about it is very hard in terms of distribution. So if you have ideas, you can tell us like how do you now get return on investment in terms of now your film needs to reach your fans?
Okay. During the pre-production, there's this part where you must discuss what is the aim of this movie. Okay, after shooting, what are we going to do with it? You don't just shoot without a purpose. So distribution, first of all, there's of course YouTube. which is always free. And let me use this example here, websites. You can sell your movie on a website with any price that you will decide as a crew. You can put a premiere of your film for people to come and watch, and of course they will pay. That is going to bring a lot of money on your side. When you sell your movies on website, it's going to bring a lot of money on your side. When you sell links, it's going to bring money on your side as well. And you can also sell it to other productions.
Yeah, okay. So as we have finished,
when you post it out on competitions, you know, these competitions normally pay.
Yeah.
That's also another example of distributing your film.
So as we are finishing up, you can talk about your achievements, things that maybe you have been really proud to be part of or you have achieved.
Okay. First of all, let me say this year, February, I fully produced my own film. That was a big achievement for me. That it has opened a lot of doors. I have had a lot of interviews with big people in the industry that I didn't think I will meet just because of a short film. I have, apart from film, I also do media. So I have done live streams for major politicians. And I think that is an achievement for a person with my age. I have gotten a chance to start my own company at this age, which most of people really fear because of making losses. Yeah.
And then you can also talk about your future projects. If you have maybe another film that is yet to be released this year, maybe you have another project that you want guys to know, you can talk about that too.
Well, I have three short films coming up. We're just winding up with the pre-production. And I have 2 feature films. So that's 5. Those are 5 films coming up this year.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm very grateful.
Thank you for having me as well.